Hey guys, what's going on? SpiroKid here. We'll begin Dragon Quest in just a few moments from now, but first we begin with breaking news. Chaotic scenes in Hawaii as you wouldn't have guessed, wildfires. 6 deaths confirmed as blazes engulf Maui. It's just a terrible situation there. It's just devastating, this entire town on the island. Let's take a look at some video here. Lahaina Business District right here. Jeez. Look at those high winds there, too. The Nanaki Maui Cultural Center in smoke. Winds from Hurricane Dora. Just a terrible situation. Scorched landscapes. Man. This is crazy. Once again, 6 people have died and more have been injured by wildfires sweeping the Hawaiian island of Maui, officials say. Thousands are without power or cell phone service due to fires that are being fueled by winds from a nearby hurricane in the Pacific Ocean. Several blazes are also burning on the Big Island, also known as Hawaii Island, a neighboring island to Maui. Officials say search and rescue efforts are still ongoing, but they warn that the death toll may rise. Authorities have evacuated neighborhoods, closed roads, and opened shelters to host thousands of evacuees. An emergency order has been signed discouraging people from coming to Maui, which is a popular tourist destination, saying, "We have shelters that are overrun, we have resources that are being taxed, we are doing whatever we can for local residents," State Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke said during a news briefing on Wednesday morning local time. And this video is of survivors describing harrowing escape from Hawaii wildfires right here.
I was the last one off the dock when the firestorm came through the banyan tree and took everything with it. And I just ran out to the beach and I ran south and I just helped everybody I could along the way. You gotta know when you can.
Yesterday we lost power at our hotel, so we figured it would be a good idea to get to the airport early. The drive normally takes 45 minutes, took us over 3 hours to get here. Along the way, we observed several fire trucks driving in the opposite direction, heading towards Lahaina, and we did see evidence of brush fires in the dry brush in the hills.
4:30 was when we started to get into Lahaina, and we just saw a huge cloud of smoke, and our tour driver, or our tour guide, he didn't know what to do, so we were like approaching it, and then we started to get an Amber Alert saying to evacuate, so we didn't know what to do, and he tried a different route, and that was obviously covered, and so we turned around. He ended up dropping us off here.
On Maui, about 4,000 visitors are trying to leave the island, said state transportation official Ed Sniffen. Thousands there are without cell service due to about 29 power poles collapsing. The full scale of the damages to homes and businesses is not yet clear, officials say. Major Gen Kenneth S. Hara, who is in charge of the emergency response, said the priority at the moment is, quote, saving lives, preventing human suffering, and mitigating great property loss, unquote. More than 12,000 people in the state of Hawaii are currently without power, according to poweroutage.us, rather. Much of the devastation has taken place in the Maui island town of Lahaina. Parts of the town were destroyed or severely damaged by the blaze. One local resident told media that every boat in the Tower Harbor was burning. The U.S. Coast Guard said it had rescued 12 people after reports of residents fleeing into the water to escape the fires. This is a picture from Reuters of the fire in the town of Lahaina, which was still burning on Wednesday. Maui County Mayor Richard Minson confirmed the 6 fatalities, but said he was not able to provide further details. There were also at least 20 injuries, including a firefighter who suffered smoke inhalation. 3 patients are in critical condition. He warned that the total number of fatalities could rise as emergency responders conduct search and rescue operations as well as evacuations. A full assessment of the damage could take months, Ms. Luke said in Wednesday's briefing, and also said that, quote, there are concerns about potential riots, unquote, in the aftermath. And this is a picture from EPA showing parts of Lahaina that were destroyed or severely damaged by the blaze. The Lahaina fire is one of at least 7 ongoing in Hawaii. About 13,000 people live in the city situated on the western part of the island of Maui. Local resident Dustin Kalipu told Hawaii News Now that his house was among those destroyed in the fire. He said everything that we've ever known was gone. Our church, our schools, every single memory we had on this household, he said. Everything was gone in a blink of an eye. There is no Lahaina resident Kihai told the Associated Press news agency. Lahaina is no exist anymore. And this is a picture from Reuters. Officials say they have yet to determine the full scale of the damage from the wildfires. That fire is one of several in Hawaii, fueled by strong winds by Hurricane Dora, hundreds of miles offshore, low humidity and dry air, according to the National Weather Service's Honolulu office. Local officials have said the winds have complicated efforts to use helicopters for firefighting operations. The Federal Emergency Management Agency and the U.S. Marines are assisting in firefighting and search and rescue operations, the White House said on Wednesday. FEMA is also working towards providing emergency supplies, including water, food, cots, and blankets. On Tuesday night, Ms. Luke issued an emergency declaration and activated the state's National Guard. Fires in Hawaii are typically smaller than those which plague California and other parts of the western continental U.S. Experts have warned, however, that they are often more damaging as Hawaii's ecosystem evolved without fires before the arrival of humans. It's a terrible situation over there, and I'm going to keep on top of this as the day goes on. If there are any big updates on this, I'll be sure to let you know. For the meantime, there is also other breaking news. This time, it is in Ecuador, where it appears that that Fernando Villavicencio, candidate in Ecuador's presidential election, has been shot dead. This came about just within an hour or so. This is his picture speaking during the campaign rally in Quito on Wednesday. Once again, a candidate in Ecuador's forthcoming presidential election has been shot dead. Fernando Villavicencio, excuse me. Actually, let me have Restream Chat just pronounce this name for me. That way I can articulate it properly.
Spiracid 77666. Villavicencio.
Villavicencio. Okay. A member of the country's National Assembly was attacked after a campaign event in the northern city of Quito on Wednesday. A member of his campaign team told local media that Mr. Villavicencio was getting into a car when a man stepped forward and shot him in the head. The death was confirmed on social media by current President Guillermo Lasso. Witnesses said that Mr. Villavicencio was shot 3 times and that the gunman was able to flee the scene. The first round of the presidential election is scheduled to take place on August 20th. Mr. Lasso, who will not be on that ballot, said he was outraged and shocked by the killing and pledged that, quote, this crime will not go unpunished, unquote. He also said, quote, organized crime has come a long way, but the full weight of the law is going to fall on them, unquote. A recent rise in violent crime, fueled by the growing pressure of drug cartels in Ecuador, has been a central issue in the presidential election. Last month, Mr. Lasso declared states of emergencies and night curfews in 3 provinces following a number of killings linked to organized crime. As well as security, Mr. Villavicencio's campaign had focused on tackling corruption, a topic he had covered in an earlier career as a journalist, and reducing environmental destruction. Last week, he said that he and his team had been threatened by the leader of a gang linked to drug trafficking. This is a picture from Reuters of police officers working outside the rally site where Mr. Villavicencio was killed. His killing follows that of Augustine Intragio, mayor of the city of Manta, in July, and Omar Mendez, candidate for mayor in the city of Porto Lopez in February. Paying tribute, former vice president and fellow candidate Otto Sonnenholzner sent his deepest condolences and deep solidarity, he said, to Mr. Villavicencio's family. He wrote, quote, "May God keep him in his glory. Our country has gotten out of hand," unquote. So that's a story that just came out a couple hours ago. There has been some graphic video going on Twitter. It was quite gruesome. I won't be showing them on, of course. And if there's anything new on that story, I'll of course bring that to you. In the meantime, let's get to today's regular headlines, starting off with AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. Wildfires stoked by high winds have been torching the historic town of Lahaina on the island of Maui. At least 6 people are dead, dozens more have been injured. Speaking in New Mexico, President Joe Biden is making the case that his policies of financial and tax incentives are bringing back U.S. manufacturing. Economic data shows a rise in spending on new factory construction. However, factory hiring has recently begun slowing. A blast at a warehouse located next to a Russian optical equipment manufacturer is adding to jitters about Ukrainian drone attacks targeting the area around Moscow. Dozens were injured in the blast. Authorities haven't spelled out what caused it, but say fireworks were stored in the warehouse. The Florida Lottery has identified this Publix grocery store in Neptune Beach as the store that sold Tuesday night's winning Mega Millions lottery ticket. The $1.58 billion Mega Millions jackpot was the 3rd largest U.S. lottery jackpot in history. Ned Barker, the Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
All right, up next in depth, 11 dead in a fire at a French holiday home for disabled. This from Reuters. Several people are killed as fire rips through a holiday home for disabled people in France. Terrible for all the families involved. Hearts go out to them. Several people were killed after a fire ripped through a holiday home for disabled people in eastern France. Alright, up next, BBC World News headlines.
You're watching BBC News, the latest headlines. 41 migrants have drowned off the Italian island of Lampedusa after their boat capsized. 45 people, including 3 children, were aboard the vessel. 11 people have died after a fire broke out at a holiday home in France. Yemen's hospitals on the brink of collapse. A BBC special report from the city of Taiz.
Okay, up next in depth, Biden moves to protect lands near the Grand Canyon. This from Reuters.
The first time I saw the Grand Canyon years ago, I was a young senator. As I stood there and looked out, a phrase came to mind. It was instinctive. I said, this is God's cathedral. That's what it reminded me of. It just is so magnificent. And so today I'm proud to use my authority under the Antiquities Act to protect almost 1 million acres of public land around Grand Canyon National Park as a new national monument. By creating this monument, we're setting aside new spaces for families to hike, bike, hunt, fish, and camp. Growing the tourism economy that already accounts for 11% of all Arizona jobs. Folks, preserving these lands is good not only for Arizona, but for the planet. It's good for the economy. It's good for the soul of the nation. And I believe with my core and my course, the right thing to do. But there's more work ahead to combat the existential threat of climate change. Last year, I signed the largest climate bill in the history not only of the United States, but literally in the history of the world. It's the biggest investment in climate conservation and environmental justice ever, anywhere in the history of the world.
Once again, U.S. President Joe Biden curbed land development on a stretch of nearly 1 million acres near Arizona's iconic Grand Canyon, a move intended to cement his environmental credentials in the electoral battleground state. Alright, up next, Showbiz Minute from the Associated Press. Rapper Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting and wounding hip-hop superstar Megan Thee Stallion. The sentence concluded a 3-year legal and cultural saga that saw 2 careers and lives thrown into turmoil. Jay-Z's annual Made in America festival has been cancelled. Lizzo and SCA were supposed to headline the event in Philadelphia next month. In a statement, the festival said it was no longer happening, quote, due to severe circumstances outside of production control, unquote. Taylor Swift tops the 2023 MTV Video Music Awards nominations with 8, followed by SCA, who has 6. Doja Cat, Kim Petras, Miley Cyrus, Nicki Minaj, Olivia Rodrigo, and Sam Smith are tied at 5 nominations. The ceremony is September 12th. That is Showbiz Minute from the Associated Press. Up next, on this day, August 9th, 2005, this from the Associated Press. Ooh, excuse me.
I've been waiting to do this kind of role for a long time. It's just in the beginning of my career, I was known for that, and I didn't want to be typecast. I was always told, you know, that's the kind of role he can do, but he can't do anything else. So I've been spending a lot of years proving them wrong. Now it's all about making movies that I want to see, and that I think people want to see me in, and I think that's why we're getting the big response like we are.
Mark Wahlberg, Tyrese Gibson, Andre Benjamin, and Garrett Hedlund were all in New York for the premiere of director John Singleton's 4 Brothers.
Now the decision-making process is certainly changing. I have a little girl to look after. I hope she never sees Boogie Nights, and if she does, it's going to be a lot of explaining to do.
The thriller follows the brothers as they investigate the murder of their adoptive mother, but their unorthodox methods, have terrible consequences. The film performed well at the box office, with many critics praising the lead performances, but disliking the vigilante-themed violence. 4 Brothers scores a healthy 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb and an 80% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. That is on this day, last but not least, today in history for August 9th. This from the Associated Press.
August 9th, 1945. The United States drops a second atomic bomb on Japan during World War II. This time the target is the city of Nagasaki, where the nuclear blast kills an estimated 74,000 people. President Harry Truman.
If Japan does not surrender, bombs will have to be dropped on her war industries, and unfortunately, thousands of civilian lives will be lost.
Just days later, Japan surrenders to America and its allies, bringing World War II to an end. 1974. In Washington, Richard Nixon becomes the first American president to resign, driven from office over the Watergate scandal. Vice President Gerald Ford is sworn in as Nixon's successor.
Our long national nightmare is over. Our Constitution works. Our great republic is a government of laws and not of men.
A month later, Ford grants Nixon an unconditional pardon for any offenses that he committed during his time in the White House. 1969. Movie actress Sharon Tate and 4 others are found brutally murdered in her Los Angeles home. Cult leader Charles Manson and a group of his followers are later convicted of the crime. 1854. Henry David Thoreau publishes the literary classic Walden. The work describes Thoreau's experiences while living near Walden Pond in Massachusetts.
Rest in peace.
And 1995. Musician Jerry Garcia of the rock band The Grateful Dead dies of a heart attack in Forest Knolls, California. He was 53. Today in history.
Rest in peace
August
as well.
9th. Camille Bohannon, The Associated Press.
And that is today's World Headlines. Stay tuned after the break. We will begin Dragon Quest XI, but also I'll be doing about on-the-hour updates about what's going on in Hawaii. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Potato.
welcome back, guys. We'll begin Dragon Quest in a moment, but first, let's just take a look at the latest of what's happening in Hawaii. Just in case you're just joining, here's what you need to know about this significant story down there. At least 6 people have died in fires in Maui, officials said Wednesday. Some injuries have been reported, but officials did not provide a number. This information coming to us from NBC. Crews continue to battle fires in Maui and the Big Island, which have been fanned in part by strong winds from Hurricane Dora, a Category 4 storm. The Coast Guard on Tuesday rescued 14 people, including 2 children, who went into the ocean to escape the blazes and smoke. Acting Governor Sylvia Luke issued an emergency proclamation on behalf of Governor Josh Green, who was traveling, and activated the Hawaii National Guard. The extent of the damage may not be known for weeks or even months, Luke said. Here is the latest information right here. We have an update here. Wildfire decimates Lahaina, once the capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom. An historic seaside town that was once the capital of the Kingdom of Hawaii has been largely reduced to ash as wildfires continue to rip through the state Wednesday. Hawaiians say Lahaina's disaster leaves them mourning the loss of a place dense with native Hawaiian history and culture, and they're bracing for what the tragedy will mean for their communities in the long term. This is a picture showing smoke drifting westward from 2 wildfires visible on satellite imagery taken over the island of Maui in Hawaii on Wednesday. People are worried about their loved ones, their homes, their businesses, their jobs, said David Alion Chang, who is native Hawaiian and a professor of history at the University of Minnesota. Quote, so many of the disasters that had hit Hawaii hit native Hawaiians the hardest. It's something that we're going to be dealing with for a long time. Let's take a look at some of the other updates from this past hour. Satellite imagery shows Maui fires. The National Weather Service in Honolulu tweeted, leeward areas of the state will still remain under a red flag warning throughout tonight. Stay updated with our watches, warnings, and advisories. The wildfires on Maui, were captured on satellite imagery as shown here. Devastating over there. This one, 31 minutes ago, aerial video shows devastation in Maui. Helicopter video from Air Maui helicopter tours in Lahaina shows the devastation in the community of more than 23,000 on the western coast of Maui after the wildfires. Man, that's gotta be tough for all of them here. Yeah, I remember the worry and fear I had when I had to evacuate from Williams Lake a couple of years ago. That was a potentially historic season, but nowadays it's a more historic season. There's just so much land that's just burning right now, more than ever before on record. Yeah, plus it's so windy, they just can't fight the winds coming from that hurricane. From 54... Hundreds of angry... excuse me for that. This is from 54 minutes ago. 2 patients in Maui fires in critical condition, hospital says. 2 of 5 being cared for at Maui Memorial Medical Center following wildfires on the island were in critical condition, Maui Health said today. The hospital is treating 5 people in all, and 7 others who have been sent to Oahu for specialty services, some of whom suffered fire-related injuries, Maui Health, a nonprofit hospital organization, said. Okay, that's the latest from the past hour. I'll be sure to come back to this in about an hour's time or so to give you more information on this breaking story. Once again, at least 6 dead as Hawaii battles blazes. Alright, let's get into Dragon Quest XI here. See what's been happening here. Okay, so here's what's happened so far. While taking a tour around the world that they brought back from the brink, Spyro Kid and his friends stumble upon an ancient book seemingly written by the Watchers, they learn of a tower that houses a secret light with the power to return that which has been lost, and begin to wonder if that power might be used to bring Veronica back from the beyond. They soon find the Wheel of Time, which acts as a sort of key, and set out to search for the tower itself. They eventually find it and climb to the top, where they meet the Timekeeper, an enigmatic entity who oversees the flow of time. When asked about the light that can return what has been lost, she tells them of Time's spear and how it can be used to undo the events of the past. So it may indeed be possible to turn back time to the day the World Tree fell, and to save Veronica and all the others who died on that awful day. But Spyro Kid, and Spyro Kid alone, may go. If he does that, he will never return. I mean, you're just essentially erasing this present, if you're going back in time anyway. Yeah, so unfortunately, you'll have no choice but to proceed if you want more story, regardless of how you feel about this particular action. Some people prefer to end it like this, and others prefer the third act more. Overall, this will pretty much mean the end of Act 2, and the beginning of Act 3, the final act. Oh wait, I should probably check out some of the, these extra stations here. What is this? Oh, the Hexwood. Okay. Huh, that's kind of cool. Leads here. Oof, my forehead is hot. I'll try doing this. Interesting way to pull your hair back. Alright, there we go. Yeah, my forehead's just really hot up here. I need to give it some air. All this hair is just blocking. Ah, look at that. That's the Gildan Hall. Okay, let's get our NPC out. What should I bring in here? Income. How about Circus Novice and Dabe? So 09 and 30. Okay. Oh, they're here. Okay. Ah, shoot. Nice! How rude. Eh. Nice! Nice. Ooh, there is a chest here. Okay, so I'll have to go to the next one, looks like. Over here. That's the tower. What's this? Ah, that's probably the place with all the destroyed things. Probably Octagon, yeah. Oh, wait. This will give us more of a Chance for crits. Wow. Jeez. Is there anything around here? Nope. Okay. Oh, I see. Locations that are in yellow are actual areas. And the blue ones are just modded in. Okay, so this way here. You're already here, right? Down here. The Hado Step Station. Aha! Meh. Nothing here, right? Whoops. Nice. Nice! Ooh! I don't think I remember this here. Dragon rods, worm hands, wands. I think I picked this up before, but maybe it was too hidden for me. Anything else? Okay. Let's go southeast. Nice! 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 Ow! Anything here? Aha! Oops. It's kind of interesting I can still access party talk there. Southeast. Oh, pardon me. I've got my start menu on my broadcast screen here. Here we go. Actually, this is a desert. We should be playing this theme. Nice.
どんなもんだい。風よ。ほーら。
Nice.
Sa, 行きましょう。
Is there nothing else here? Okay. Oh, right over here. Nice.